Okay, let's see if we can get our arrows T-33 in the air. It's flying on full 4S. I replaced the stock ESC with the Hobbywing Skywalker 50 amp ESC. 2S to 4S has a 5 volt 5 amp back in it. I'm not going to have any problems with that one. I've got the Crossover RX XR602T, the DSM2 DSMX version of that little Nano S-Bus receiver, and I am liking it a lot as well. I've got my Nano-Tech 4S 1800 milliamp hour LiPo in it. Alright, we've got it in safe mode. Yeah, alright, let's launch. Okay, so we'll bring it back around here and we'll put it in manual mode. Back off the throttle a little bit. That really, I think in safe mode really has a very restrictive. Alright, we are in full manual mode now. Very restrictive on the ailerons, and in manual mode I've got so much movement on them they're a little bit twitchy. I've still got some tuning to do on this and some linkage adjustment. Big wide loop. Transition into a split S. Double vertical roll. That was up there, guys. That pushes skyward pretty well with this full 4S power system on it. It's a heavier airframe, so it doesn't have quite as much thrust as my other 50mm EDF jets, but it's respectable. Much better flying now than when I first brought it out, huh? But I still have some work to do on it. If I can get those ailerons toned down a bit, I'll be pretty happy with it as much as I can. Like I said, this is my least favorite of the EDF jets that I have right now. It just doesn't handle as well. It's not as stable. Not as much thrust. Thrust to weight ratio. But it definitely handles a heck of a lot better than it did. I've finally been able to get some flights on it to get it tuned a bit. As until today, I've spent more time repairing this plane than flying it. So I really came close to retiring this one right off of the bat. Okay, I'm starting to get my haptic. Bring it back through here, check our directions, make sure nobody's coming. Put it back into safe mode. Alright, we're in safe mode now. I've got almost a 90-degree crosswind coming in. Wow, I didn't have any wind at all. Didn't have any wind at all when I launched it. I am gliding. Ta-da! I'm just so happy that now I'm having a chance to get some decent flights on it, you know. I mean, this plane is still a stranger to me. I put 6 battery packs through it out here today. I think the largest number of flights I have gotten on this until today has been 2. So yeah, I don't even know this aircraft yet. I'm definitely not comfortable with it yet. But unfortunately, maybe I'll get lucky and maybe it'll hold up long enough for me to get comfortable with it and put it through its paces more. I hope so. The next time this one gives me problems, it is getting retired. It's my least favorite of the EDF jets that I have. It's just not the most stable, doesn't have the most power, not the best handling, you know. So anyway, I'll meet you back at the hangar and I'll show you the skid system I put on it. Now this is the first skid system or landing system that I put on this jet that has held up through 6 battery packs. It's the same type of skid system that I used on the Zeta Ultra Z Blaze. I have more flights on that jet than I have on this one, and the Zeta Ultra Z Blaze was the last EDF jet that I purchased. So it has worked out fantastic. The landing system has worked excellent on it, and so far it's holding up on this one. So I'll meet you back at the hangar and I'll tell you exactly what I did. You notice that when I came in for a landing, it's not bouncing up off of the hard pack all the time like it was before, launching back into the air as soon as I touch down. So I'll show you why I think that is. See you back there.
Alright, well, wasn't so lucky, was I? I had 6 flights on that T-33 during that flight session. That was my last flight. So, and then the next time that I took it out, the next flight session, I was on the very first flight. I had just launched it. I had it in gyro mode and safe mode, full stabilization mode. And then all of a sudden the plane just started making hard left on me, started making hard right. And I was doing everything I could to keep it in the air. You know, since I had it in gyro mode, I wish I would have thought about switching it into full manual mode. Maybe I would have been able to save it. But the vector gyro just went absolutely rogue on it. I don't know what the heck was going on. I checked it after the crash. It was still, you know, was mounted solidly. It's not like the gyro came loose or anything. It was still in there. It was still affixed to the fuselage just fine. Because I thought, you know, after it crashed, I thought, uh-oh, the gyro had broken loose from the glue or something. But that's not what happened. It just went rogue on me. So I'll throw a picture up on the screen of the result of the crash, what was left of the plane. It was still repairable, but I've had so many problems with this jet. I had already decided the next time that I had to repair it, it was getting retired. So that was going to be a pretty extensive repair for that T-33 jet. So at this point I say good riddance. With what I paid for that jet and only getting 6 good flights on that airframe, that comes out to nearly $26 per flight is what I got out of that plane. Not a good deal. Not a good deal at all. Anyway, I've got the gyro. The gyro is going to get trashed, but I am going to desolder all the leads off of it. I've got the servos. I've got a 50mm EDF unit. Now this is a good EDF unit. I like it. I think it's the same one that's in the Viper. So I'll be putting this in something else if I can find a 50mm EDF Jet airframe, you know, a kit without any electronics. I'll be putting that in it with 4S setup. But what a shame, man, what a shame. I had just gotten it all tuned out. I needed to increase my expo on the ailerons a bit because they were still pretty twitchy at center stick. But other than that, I had it flying pretty darn well. One more flight session with that jet, and I think I would have had it all tuned and flying as best that it could. and it just wasn't meant to be. But anyway, I've had, let me see, five EDF jets that I've flown so far. It's just been within the last year that I've flown my first EDF jet. So 3 of the 5 EDF jets that I've flown have been absolutely fantastic flying airframes, and I've had 2 that were just lemons, you know, the T-33 and the F-86 Sabre jet. So that one was retired quite a while ago, and now the T-33 is retired. So I guess I'm not going to have to worry about culling that one from the herd. It culled itself from the herd. So anyway, I have another airframe on order. Hopefully it will arrive undamaged and it will be the correct item that I ordered. But I've got that Zeta Ultra Z Blaze jet that is just, I think it's the best handling and best flying EDF jet that I've got in my inventory right now. And I ordered the Astro, and the Astro has the exact same fuselage, but it has straight wings instead of the swept wings. And I've got a FMS 64mm EDF unit that I'm going to be dropping in that one, and it's going to be flying on 4S from the get-go, and it should be fantastic because that EDF unit that I'm going to be putting in the Astro is 11 blade fan, and it's designed for a 4S LiPo. The one that is in the Blaze is a 64mm EDF. It's only a 5 blade fan, and it was only designed for a 3S LiPo. But I've been flying it on full 4S, and it actually has quite a bit of power, even though it's only a 5 blade fan. So I can't wait to get the Astro in the air with that 11 blade fan unit. It's going to sound so much better. It's going to sound more like a jet instead of that high pitched whine that I get out of that 5 blade fan, and it should produce a lot more power. It has a motor in it that's a lot lower kV than the one that is in that 64mm 5 blade fan, so it should have a lot of torque. I'm hoping that I get more power and get just as much flight time out of that 64mm unit that I get out of the one that's in the Blaze. It was the one I pulled out of the F-86 Sabre jet when I retired it. But anyway, I salvaged everything off of the airframe that I could, the carbon, the servos, my ESC, the receiver, the EDF unit, everything that I could pull out of it. So those will go into a future project. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.